I loved theater. I didn't know you could do it for a living. I'm like, wait, this is their whole job? They go to work and they're in a play? That's it? I didn't know that you could do it for a living. Hi, my name is Salisha Thomas. You've seen me in Beautiful, the Carole King musical, and the Britney Spears musical, Once Upon a One More Time. I made my Broadway debut in the role in 2017 and closed that puppy out. Like, for real, like, I would have died in that show if it was still running. I love Beautiful. I love it. It was so warm. It felt like a family. I didn't know what to expect when I got here to New York City, and I don't know if it was the magic of the Stephen Sondheim, if it was the magic of Carole King musical, or if it was the team, or if it was the cast, or maybe a combination of everything, but I felt so welcomed. It felt like a homecoming to a place that I'd never been, and I really looked forward to going to work every day, like every single day. I was the annoying person in the building being like, can you believe we get to do this? Like, that it was an actual dream come true. I know sometimes people make their dreams come true and they're like, ugh, this is it. It was the opposite for me. Like, I made that debut and every day I couldn't believe it. I could not believe that it was better than I ever expected. Will You Love Me Tomorrow always makes me feel so much love because that's the song that I sang over 1,500 times in Beautiful, the Carole King musical. It's always been a feel-good song for me. When I first got cast in the role, it was the week I moved to New York City.
Tonight you're mine completely. You give your love so sweetly. Tonight the light of love is in your eyes. But will you love me tomorrow?
That song, before I got to sing it professionally, would always remind me good things are coming. Like opportunities, my dreams are coming towards me. That's what that song means. I love that song. My first ever Broadway show was Wicked. I saw it in the 8th grade, 13 years old, field trip from California. Eden Espinosa was Elphaba, Megan Hilton was Glinda. I know, they're like incredible. Truly, that performance changed my entire life.
Is love I can be sure of. So tell me now, and I won't ask again. Will you still love me tomorrow? Will you still love me tomorrow?
How I handle, or how I've been handling life-work balance, it actually helped, as hard as it was, the pandemic, to help put things in perspective. Before then, it was always, I have to be in a show or else what is the point of life? That is not healthy, nor is it sustainable. Now, I have actively, the last show I was in was the Britney Spears musical, Once Upon a One More Time. After that closed, I actively asked my agents, I need a break. Before you send me out on any more auditions, I need a minute. And in that year that I have taken off, I've been able to start hosting red carpets and write a book, tend to my husband, my new husband. It's in the breaks where I have been able to live my life. If it wasn't for the pandemic, I would not have met my awesome husband, Andrew. Andrew, I love you. Because my focus was not on that, and there was no room for it. Not being afraid of the in-between gigs, the in-between shows, to make the most of it. Going home back in the day, if I didn't have a job, they'd be like, oh, you're unemployed. Oh, like feeling so bad for me. And now the energy around not being employed has completely changed. It feels like when I am not employed, I have space to create my own lane and set a foundation for how I want the next 10 years of my life to look like. I Am What I Am, for me, is like an anthem and a reminder to myself to literally be who I am, to not be apologetic about it, to not feel bad about it, to show up fiercely, unapologetically, my sparkly, annoyingly optimistic self. Like, my energy changes the world. There's only one of us. Like, as much as I want to be Oprah, she's taken. Like, I have to be me. So that is like, I just feel like it's such a great reminder to myself as I'm singing it.
I am what I am, and what I am needs no excuses. I deal my own deck, sometimes the ace, sometimes the deuces.
I cannot be put into a box. People like want to put me in a box, but I feel like good luck, it's not gonna happen. I am what I freaking am.
Your closet, your life is a sham till you can say, hey world, I am what I am.
The hardest thing about being on Broadway is everything. I'm sorry. It really is like you have to be there 6 days a week, 8 times a week, in person, healthy, sane, sober. Like, it takes all of you. You don't get to just like phone it in. Like, you have to show up. I used to work at Disney back in the day, and when we first started a new show called Mickey and the Magical Map, we got to our 4th, 5th show, and the director was like, hey guys, meeting. Hello, what are you doing? This is some people's first time at Disneyland. They've spent a lot of money to be here. You have no idea the sacrifice of the people out there in the audience, what they have had to do to get here today. I'm gonna need y'all to bring the magic as much for the last show as you did for the first show. And so I got into the habit of bringing the magic every single show. That was 5 times a day. Sometimes it was 8 times a day. So when I moved to Broadway, I'm like, I can do once or twice a day. There are days when like your body does not want to show up, but it's live. Like, there's a bunch of people, like 1,000 girls or guys or whoever, who would gladly take your place. And so remembering gratitude, you have to show up, but it's not always easy. Home, it's been a hometown favorite for so long. I've always sung that freaking song.
Suddenly my world's gone and changed its face, but I still know where I'm going.
I'm getting older. I don't know if I'll ever play Dorothy, but I still love that song. It feels very like, remember where you came from while you're on the way to where you're going. I don't think my dream role exists yet. Scandal, the musical? Where is she? Like, Olivia, hello? Like, do I need to write it? Do I need to produce this for this to happen? Like, where is she?
Might be a fantasy, but it taught me to love. So it's real, oh, it's real to me. And I have learned that we must look inside our hearts to find a world full of love like yours, like mine, like
The best thing about being on Broadway is, I don't want to call it like a little club, but like before moving to New York City, it was this faraway thing. I'm in California, scouring the internet for any YouTube clips I can get my hands on, daydreaming about auditions that I would skip class for and fly to New York City to audition for Sister Act. Like, it wasn't possible because New York, it's like Broadway is literally like a certain block radius. It feels like a very once in a lifetime moment. So if you ever get the opportunity to be in a show, it is so special. You can't duplicate what happens in that live space. Like these theaters are so iconic. They're old, but old, like classic. I don't know. There's something magical about a Broadway theater, knowing all of the history, all of the legends who were in every last theater. It leaves me speechless. I loved theater. I didn't know you could do it for a living. I'm like, wait, this is their whole job? They go to work and they're in a play? That's it? I didn't know that you could do it for a living. I knew I loved it. I'm like, but it's a hobby. My advice for aspiring Broadway performers is to know who you are as much as you can before you get into the business, because there's going to be, like, it's inevitable. Rejection is so inevitable. There's going to be so many no's, so much rejection. To know that it is not personal, that it has nothing to do with you. And when you show up in the room, instead of always trying to give them what they want, be who they want, look how you think they want you to look, do your hair like show up with as much of you as possible, because those are the jobs that when you get, they will feel so good and authentic. It's a long-term thing. It's not a one gig and done. You have to keep showing up every day. So the more you can be yourself when you first walk into the room, the more freedom you'll have for the entirety of your, hopefully, long-term contract.
Thanks to our incredible guests for sharing their talents with us, to Tell Group and our gorgeous venue, the Silver Lining Lounge in New York City, and to you for joining us at And That's Showbiz. We have a lot of Broadway content coming your way, so don't forget to subscribe and let us know what you thought and what guests you want to see in the comments. And we'll see you in the next one.